Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 2 of April for Women's Weekly. We have a continuation of last week to see if we are going to have any players that will secure the $50 bounty. And if you guys did not catch last week's tournament games, we have switched over to a bounty system prize pool. So each month there will be certain bounties up for grabs that the players can complete to be able to earn some cash. So for this month, because we have a limit of $150 for the prize pool to be spread across everything, I have put forth a challenge of 2 tournament wins over the course of the month. If a player secures that, then they will receive $50 for their troubles. So we have a 3-player max of that. Again, 3 different players throughout the course of the month. If they can secure 2 tournament wins, they will get $50. So it is a race. And as of last week, we crowned our first 3 winners. So we have Pads, Karamel, and Emily. I believe I got that right. Let me just check my list again. Yep, there we go. So Pads, Karamel, and Emily took the win last week, but they have split up. They're on different teams. We have a few different teams here in this version of Women's Weekly. So let's get right into it and see the 2 different teams matching up. We've got Hawaiian Pizza with Delosan, a new player to Women's Weekly, Demon Mara and Ninji, and then Sapphire, which is a WCB team with Ashleigh, Jules, and Jade. Now, moving over to the other side of the bracket, we do see Pads on Crazy If True alongside RoseBlushes and Jazzkitty. And then we have Mythra, Kazumi, and Mia, or I think, who is that? Hold on, let me see. Let me see really quick. People changing their names in game. Yeah, it is Mia. So it looks like if Pads wins, they will get the $50, and her 2 teammates from last week are not participating. So, you know, the 2 other $50 bounties are up for grabs. But let's get right into these first games. I'm gonna go over here, and I think we're gonna spectate Hawaiian Pizza versus Sapphire. So let's get right into it. All right, game number 1 of our semifinals. We've got Sapphire versus I already forgot who was playing on the other side, versus Hawaiian Pizza. Yes, we have seen the Hawaiian Pizza name multiple times before. It seems to be a favorite of, I believe, Demon Mara's team name choices, as I think she is the common denominator of all the Hawaiian Pizza variations. But we are gonna have a 0-0 starting out here, which is kind of insane. So pretty even matchup between these 2 teams. And just as I say that, ashleigh is going to go and score the first one for her team, Sapphire, off of a pop that Jules had a little pass out into the middle. And it looks like just a couple defensive misplays on the back line. Now, I say this every time, but for any new viewers, we do best of 3s up until the finals, which are best of 5. So this week we have 2 semifinals to get through. I generally only spectate 1 full match at a time, so we will miss some of the players that compete in the weekly, but I always include their names in the description if you want to check out who all competed. And yeah. So it looks like Delosan getting in there. She's going to take possession of that off the sidewall. Clears it down into the middle for Demon Mara, but she commits too far ahead, doesn't get a touch on it, and it's going to force her and Ninji back into their net. Now Mara, she's going to try to take possession here. She almost fakes out too, but ashleigh dives in and takes the possession away from her. Now we see a little bit of fun here as Jade is on the battle bus. I do not believe I've seen that car in competition in a while now. It is quite ridiculous. If you haven't played on the battle bus, because it was added to the game quite a while ago, and I don't believe it has been available again since. If you notice, when she boosts, the back doors of the bus open up. So just a funny little animation there for anybody who doesn't have the car or hasn't seen it in action. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty even matchup in this first game. You know, holding it 1-0, that's about as close a scoreline as you can get. And of course, geez, ashleigh, she's just really loving to stop me right in my commentating tracks by scoring a 2nd goal. It looks like Delosan had a clear out to the side there, and Jade just cut that off perfectly. It left it wide open for ashleigh, and she is going to sink that into the net for 2-0. Now we have a ball going even in the middle off of kickoff. Mara doesn't have enough boost to get up to it, so Jules is going to dive it, leaving ashleigh to bring it out to the sidewall. Now pass goes out into the middle to Jade. She doesn't quite get it on target. She gets the second touch though, and that's going to leave it awkward on the goal line against this Hawaiian pizza squad. I keep forgetting their names. They've used it so many times, but now Delosan missing the ball in the midfield leaves Mara to dive for the ball, and Jade is going to take an easy third off of that. Just a little bit of misplays from Hawaiian Pizza Squad, and that is going to lead to a pretty secure victory for Sapphire. Now it looks like this Hawaiian Pizza Squad, this iteration at least, is going to have to try to go to the drawing board in the 60 seconds between our match and see what they can figure out to try to bring it back in the second game. You know, this is a best of three, so for anybody who hasn't personally competed and played best of threes, they really go by quickly. So you don't have much time to adjust to the lobby and change anything. So you really got to be on your toes, but in the interest of time, we do not do longer series than this. So let's get right into the second game. Game number 2, Hawaiian Pizza versus Sapphire. Now, this Hawaiian Pizza squad, they have it all to do in the second game of this matchup. It looks like Sapphire is going to be, you know, bringing the heat to them, keeping possession. And I actually forgot to check to see if there were any EU players. I know everybody but Delosan, pretty sure, is NA. So let's just do a quick check here. And it does look like we have all NA players. So, you know, it's always preferred. I did run an EU version of this tournament for a little while, but we just didn't have enough participation, so I had to, you know, save a little bit of my time and pause that. But if there is ever enough interest in the future, I am open to resuming it again. But as it stands, you know, all these matches are played on NA East. Wow, I'm really messing up my words right now. They're played on NA East, so, you know, not the best for EU players to connect to, but as we have seen in our previous, you know, week 1 tournament winner Pads, she is from EU and managed to come away with a win. So it's not impossible. I wouldn't say it's entirely fair to the EU players, but, you know, if they garner up enough interest from their fellow players, they can get a tournament once again on EU servers. But again, we see another even matchup on this pitch. Mara trying to do her best to block that early, but Jules is going to get a crazy double tap. That was an insane read off of the backboard. She just popped it up quickly off of Mara's miss, left it open, and she's going to get the tight angle into the top right corner. That really takes a lot of skill right there. So beautiful double tap from Jules to take 1-0 in the second game. Now Ninji trying to keep possession of that, handing it off to Mara on the left wall. She's going to try to follow it in an air dribble, but Jules gets the block on it. Now we see Ninji with the miss flip, and ashleigh is going to air dribble all the way towards the net, even try to get a pancake shot, but she is not successful. Now Jade stopping at the midline. She's going to follow up on that with a quick touch. She's going to get off the back wall, and that does leave it open for Jules to take the second. You know, this team has good synergy right now. Jade just chasing that ball, getting it past one, flipping it past the second, and that left it all too easy for Jules to put into the back of the net. Now, what is this Hawaiian Pizza squad going to do? Mainly what I'm seeing here is that, you know, it's just a little bit of misplays, defensive misplays, not getting good enough touches. And, you know, to be fair to the Sapphire squad, they are not just scoring because of defensive misplays from Hawaiian Pizza. They are scoring because they are putting on a lot of pressure. You know, any defense is going to break down eventually with all the time that they are spending on this side. And we are going to see that happen again as Jules takes a third. ashleigh just popping it up into the corner. She gets a follow-up touch on it, and that leaves it open for Jules to put into the top shelf of the net. Delosan left sitting in the net, you know, not knowing what to do, not able to get the save. Now Jules, she's going to try for an early shot on, but that is going to be wide and is going to leave it open for Jade to follow up. Now that, you know, if it was on purpose, which generally you want to think it is, that, you know, baited Delosan into jumping on the right side of the net, and just unfortunate from this play, you know, Delosan being called out twice in a row. Now Jade, she's going to get a soft touch, get it past 2 in the back. We see Delosan on the goal line, pushing it away. She's going to try to follow up on it in the corner. She misses her touch, and that is going to leave it open for Jules to try to pass it off to Ashleigh as they move down the right side of the field. Now Mara up early. She gets the block on it. And she is going to take it all the way across the net. She's even going to go for a pinch, try to get a little bit of space on her line. And is that in? Woo! Last minute save from Ashleigh. That almost went in. The pinch off of the side wall. Mara calling out the defense from Sapphire, saying, don't get too comfortable because, you know, I have a chance on net from anywhere on this pitch. But Ashleigh, she is going to delete the passing option that Mara was looking for. And that is going to mean pressure is let off on the Sapphire squad. Now Delosan trying to get a shot on net. He's even going to try to pass it out from the corner, but she misreads it. Ninji's going to dive in and help her out. And now we have Ashleigh down the left side. She gets assistance from Jules as it is left off Delosan. Easy clear out into the center. And even, oh, a save from Mara and assisted by Jules as she clears it out to the right wall. But that is just going to leave to Jade popping into the center. Jules returning for the shot as she goes for a pre-jump. That's even crazier. I didn't even see that the first time. That was a gorgeous goal from Team Sapphire, making the team plays come true as they style on this Hawaiian pizza squad. Now, it was looking pretty close for a while. You know, despite all the pressure that Sapphire had on the blue half, Hawaiian pizza were holding it down, but now we see them bleeding goals as Jade takes another one and puts her team up 6-0. It's getting away from this Hawaiian pizza squad. The question now is, can they score? Jules off the kickoff. She's going to get chased away from it by Ninji as she brings it back into her corner, but Jules is going to pop it up high. Mara, beautiful save from inside the net, gets past 1. She's going to try to pass it out to Ninji, who pops it into the middle. She's going to have a little space to work with the ball, but Jules quickly closes that down as Ashleigh, we see her flying from the left wall, trying to get a touch on that and put it in the goal. So far, it is safe for now. Mara misses her touch, and that is going to force Ninji and Delosan to hurry back. Jade with her shot just off the post. Ashleigh collecting in the corner. And she gets a beautiful 50. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm saying beautiful too many times. Gorgeous. Absolutely pristine. What other synonyms can I think of? I don't know. But she just dunked on Ninji trying to defend that net, and Ninji in chess. I'm telling my mom on you. She's a little upset at the beatdown that is occurring before our eyes. And you know, that is all she wrote. Ooh, Delosan Delosan, I can't say their name, getting a good save on the goal line. And again, she pops it up, keeps it safe for her teammates for now. Now that goes high, and Jules is going to follow it up. It's going to be wide though, but Jade coming in for the third rotation, securing the 8th with only 12 seconds remaining. This feels a little bit rude at this point. But we do have our winners. There is absolutely no way that Hawaiian Pizza can score 8 goals in 10 seconds. So we are going to see Sapphire moving on to the finals. And after we finish out this match, who is going to join them? We will see. All right, let's see. On the other side of the bracket, looks like we had Crazy If True taking the win against Empathy Whiffthra. That's a mouthful to try to say. So Pads giving herself the opportunity to secure her second win for the month of April. Will we see our first player secure the brownie? Let's get right into the games. Game number 1 of our finals, we have Crazy If True and Sapphire on the pitch. Now, she has been in the tournament many times by now. We're going to have to do a quick ping check and see what Pads is working with. Hopefully she got a good server. Reminder for everybody that these games are played on NA East, so you know, EU players, they gotta suffer through high ping to be able to compete in these weeklies. But let's see what she's working with. 104 and Rose also on 108. Actually pretty good for them. So Rose is also an EU player. I forgot that she was on the pitch, as it has been a couple weeks since she competed. But she is on ERN Roar, and which is another top team in EU. So we got quite a few EU players dipping in here and there, participating in these weeklies, and Rose is going to go ahead and get the first goal of this best of 5 series between these two teams. Now, good pass from Jazzkitty. She just gets it high off the backboard and bounces perfectly out to Rose as she was waiting in front of the box. You hear the battle bus beep right there. All right, now Pads going up for an air dribble. Looks like she can't get the flip reset, and she was early challenged by Jade, getting up there quickly. That's how you got to play it with a 3-man roster. You know, anybody going up for an aerial, whether you can get a touch on the ball or not, it's just good to challenge those solo plays, because you never know how many defenders they can get it past if you let them stay on the ball for too long. But we are going to have ashleigh collecting in the corner, bouncing off the ceiling, and Rose and Jazzkitty are going to be up early to block that out. Now Pads waiting patiently backline. This is her bread and butter. This is what she likes to do as third. She likes to wait it out as long as she can, buy some time for her team to get back and get boosted up again. Now we do see in her name, it looks like she's got a broken controller. Wonder if she's working with stick drift or a sticky button. But you know, if you get used to it, a broken controller can be manageable. No, it is never fun, but it is not impossible to take a win. So are we going to see Pads being able to secure her $50 prize for getting 2 tournament wins? We're going to see if Sapphire has anything to say about that. Now ashleigh up early on the left wall. She's even going to try to dunk Pads, but she does get it past her for the time being. Now Jules with pressure on net. She even gets a demo on one, but Jade's shot was wide, and that is going to leave it to Pads to take it out as far as the midfield. Now ashleigh bringing it back into the box quickly, but Rose is going to get a nice clear out. Now Jade with a shot on net from midfield. That came out of nowhere seemingly when we were on her perspective, but Jade just up. Wow, that was a really fast aerial. Wasting no time putting that right smack dab in the center of the orange goal. And that is going to bring us to a tie game with almost 2 minutes remaining. I keep... Quick break from the serious casting for a second. I am probably going to laugh every single time I hear Jade's battle bus beeping on the field, because it is quite comical. I'm not used to having this car on the pitch, but getting back into it, we see the play move into the orange half. ashleigh trying to control it out. Jules taken away from her, but it only goes far as Rose, as she takes it up for an aerial. Jazz trying to put some pressure onto the defenders, getting a block, and that's going to leave Pads to collect it on the right side. Now she misses her touch out in the middle, and that is going to leave it out for Jazzkitty. It's almost better that Pads missed her touch here, because both of the defenders expected her to connect with that, and it left Jade pre-jumping, and then ashleigh awkward at the near post backwards. It's always harder to save when you have the ball behind you, so just a little reverse controls throwing you off. And that is going to mean that Crazy If True are moving up 2-1. Now, the way that it works, I do have to feel like I have to explain this. Basically, if we have a situation where Sapphire take the win, then we will have 6 separate players, all with 1 tournament win each, eligible for the prize. And that means that moving forward through the month, it is the first 3 players that secure 2 wins that will get the $50. So it could be an all-out race between however many people. You never know. Oh, look at these cinematic shots. That was beautiful. If the spectator client could do that a little bit more often, I would say I would not complain. But Jade, she's going to take it out onto the left side. Pads cutting it off, and she's going to bring it back into the middle. Jade on her rotation back gets in the way of it, and leaving ashleigh and Jules to try to make a play in the middle. Now ashleigh, she has to dive for that after Jules missed the touch. but she's up early to block it in the midfield. Now Jade with a long clear out of her corner. It's going to leave it to Pads, and we're just going to play a little bit of ping pong here as the players try to decide who's going to have the offensive pressure. And that is Rose putting a nice double off the back. Even though it wasn't on target, it left the defense muddled enough that Jazzkitty had an opportunity to put it into the net. We had Jules chasing her as well. She just couldn't quite catch up to her. And we are going to see 4-1. So pretty safe to say that Crazy If True are going to take game number 1 in this best of 5. Pads on her way to a $50 prize for taking 2 wins. And we're not even going to have one for the road. I was just going to say that, but caster call too early. Hashtag that in the comments. As we play out these final seconds, we are going to see it drop to the ground. So Crazy If True giving themselves the 1 game advantage. Game number 2. We hear the battle bus starting up once again as we get into this on Neo Tokyo. Pads up early. Jules is going to block it on the left side wall, meaning Jazzkitty has to take it back into the safety of her goal line. That's going to lead to some pressure from Sapphire. Ashleigh getting a crazy touch, but is over the top with Jules, and we do not have a third to follow up. Now Pads, she's going to cut it off in the middle, even get a second touch on it, and she cannot follow it as that is going to be cleared out to the midfield. Now Jade, early shot on net, testing the defense, seeing what Jazzkitty has to offer, and she's going to get it as far as the midfield. Now Rose, taking it up high. Pass is going to try to drop it back down to her, but Jules got up early and in the way for that. Now we have a slowdown in the corner. Jade missing her touch in the midfield, seeing a couple whiffs now. Players just going a little bit too fast for their own good, and that is going to leave it awkward in the back corner. Jazzkitty separately to block it. We have a demo on the back line, but can Sapphire capitalize on it? It looks like Rose is going to clear it out and give her teammates enough time to get back into formation. Now we have a long clear down the side as Jazzkitty tries to take control of it. She does get bumped for her trouble, and Jules is going to get a nice 50-50 on that. But it does break out to the left. Rose up for a pre-jump as well as Jade, but Rose makes contact first. It's going to leave Ashleigh to clear it off the back wall. She even gets a demo on Jazzkitty, so that's going to leave another opportunity, but it looks like Crazy If True are on the offense, so they are not going to be punished for that demo. Now Rose taking it slow. She allows Ashleigh to pass it up to Jazzkitty, and Pads trying to get up early, but Ashleigh blocks it away. Now we have a pop back into the center from Jazzkitty. She even gets a touch off the wall. That is going to leave it open for a shot on Rose, but Jules gets to save away, and she's going to follow it on the left wall. She gets a bump on Pads, leaving Ashleigh a clear line. Pads getting a demo on Jade. It's going to leave the back open. Jade, can she get back in time? She does. Pads cannot get the 50-50 to go her way on the goal line. Now that's going to leave it breaking down the other direction. Jules taking up the wall. She's going to get it past one and try for a second. She even gets a dunk, but it does fly out to the right corner. And now we have a long clear from Rose into the blue corner. Ashleigh cutting rotation, getting through there, trying to get it past the midfield, but Pads is going to stop that advance. Now Ashleigh, she's running low on boost. This is a frequent position we see her in these women weeklies. She seems to be a absolute boost goblin, using up all that she has. And now that's going to be a breakaway, but Ashleigh gets back in time for the epic save. Jade, follow-up touch. That's going to leave Jules alone in the back. But thankfully, there was no second man from Crazy If True to follow up on that. Now Jade, getting a quick shot out into the middle. It's going to leave an easy save for Rose, but she gets demoed from Jade. And Jade even taking down a second player. This is a huge opportunity for Sapphire, as even one of the Crazy If True players moved all the way upfield, but we are not going to see anything come of it. Now, Pads almost faking out the last defender, but Jade managed to correct herself in time. Jazzkitty takes it past one, doesn't get it past the second. It's going to force Pads to get up for the early save, and she even gets a follow-up out into the midfield. Now Jade with another clear into the corner. She's going to try to get a pass out, but she misses touch as she did not have any boost to work with. And we see ashleigh missing it. That's going to leave it open for Rose. And she's even going to take a couple seconds off the clock, not slamming in immediately, burn some time. And that is going to become really important as this is a close game heading into the final minute. You know, it really looks like either team can take it right now, but Sapphire have just not been able to capitalize on the opportunities they've made for themselves. They either have one player moving too far back into rotation for a boost, or, you know, just too many players going for physical plays. I know that has been a problem for teams that Jules has been a part of in the past. She is a very aggressive player, you know, as well as other ladies in the league. You know, other ones that come to mind are Karamel and then anybody else on the Mosquitoes roster. Emily is also a very aggressive player. We have seen a couple times in these women weeklies, but so far nothing is going to come of it for the Sapphire squad. We're going to have to see if they can bring it back even in the final 40 seconds. ashleigh, she tries to get a pass out to the middle, but Jules is demoed, so there is no passing option. Jade getting a clean save in the back. She leaves it out to Jules to pass it downfield. Now Jules getting another touch on it. She's going to try to get Rose, but ashleigh is blocked as Rose did recover in time. Now pads up early. It's going to leave it open for Sapphire, but Jules, her shot is too high. And ashleigh's is too wide. Now Jade, can she make anything of this? We see Jazzkitty with a big clear downfield. Rose following up on that touch. And it looks like this is a prime to go to Crazy if True. Can the players keep it from touching the ground? Looks like Jade does manage to keep it up. It's going to delay the timer just a little bit longer. We even have a big clear from ashleigh. Jules trying to chase it down and get into the corner. She does keep it up, but ashleigh mispositioned. That was a hard bounce to read out of the corner. And Crazy if True are going to take the 2-game advantage. Now, Sapphire are going to have to reverse sweep, win 3 games in a row if they want to take this win. Otherwise, we will see Pads securing her $50 prize for 2 tournament wins for this month of April in Women's Weekly. Game number 3. It's all or nothing for Sapphire. Can they bring it back? They made the second game a lot closer than game 1, but they still were not able to secure the victory. So now, are they going to make a statement? Are they going to make this an interesting series for us and take one in this 3rd match? Now they have the pressure early on, so there is a good chance that they might have something come of it, but the rotations have broken down in the past few games after a few failed attempts on net. So is Crazy if True going to be able to survive long enough? It looks like they have moved back into the other half, but it quickly has turned the other direction, and that is going to be a miss from the defender, meaning Jules' back corner clear goes all the way into the net. Just a beautiful lob from the back corner. Jazzkitty a little bit too far up, and she misses the defensive touch as it goes into the net. Now Jade, ooh, she switched up her car this time. The battle bus wasn't doing her well, so she decided to hop on the X-Devil, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, comments, but I believe that is the right car. Now, passing play. Early on, Jade is left in the back to defend, and she does manage well. Jazzkitty, another miss on the line, and that is going to mean that Jade 50-50s it in. Jazzkitty just breaking down on the defense. These last couple touches going too fast for her own good, and that is going to mean that Rose is beat as it goes into the bottom right corner. Sapphire really fighting back after they've gone down 2 games. Are they going to be able to continue this? Because, you know, Crazy if True did have a nice passing play going on with just Jade in the back to contend with, but they did not come out successful as of yet. We're going to see Rose moving down the side, Paz with a pop on line, and Rose with a beautiful delay that is going to leave it open for Paz to put it in. Oh my goodness. This is why we watch 3v3, because the plays that you can get between teammates are just insane. Rose having the wherewithal to know that it was off target and popping it, stopping the momentum of the ball and leaving it for Paz to finish off. That was just a gorgeous play right there. Now, as beautiful as that was, as much as I overuse that word, a goal is still just worth 1 point. So Crazy if True are going to have to bring it back one more time if they want to bring the series score or the game score to even, and you know, make themselves a contender for the shutout. You have Jade missing her touch. She's going to have to rotate out as she has no boost. And we flip to ashleigh, who also doesn't have any boost until she collects the mid. That's going to leave the defense a little bit awkward on the Sapphire end. ashleigh trying to delay for time, and it is managed to be cleared all the way out upfield. Now Jazzkitty getting her touch this time. She is going to leave it and go for the side as she waits for her teammate support. Jade bringing it in the corner. She misses her touch. She didn't have any boost, so that's a little hard to handle. And that is going to force Jules to early challenge it on the wall. She stops the offense in their tracks, and that is going to be a follow-up from Jade on the right wall. Jules getting the block on Rose. She's going to have an opportunity to pass in the middle. Jazzkitty, though she fumbled before, she did make her touch this time when it mattered. Now we see her trying to get a pass out into the middle. It is blocked away by Jade, and we have a skirmish in the back corner as Jade clears it out. It's only as far as Rose as she pops it back into the center. That is a good pass for pads, and it clangs off of the post. Does not go in, but Rose quickly dunking another, trying to give her team more opportunities. Jules is there though. She's going to clear it hard and long back into the corner, and that's going to leave Crazy If True on defense. Jules with a high pop into the center. Rose up early to counter it. Pads trying to follow up on her touch, but Jade was a little bit too fast for it. Even misses her touch. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to, you know, give players any excuses or, you know, say that they should be doing better because of it, but it does if you have seen previous play from Pads, it does look like she's a little bit awkward right now. So her broken controller statement might be true, but Rose is gonna, you know, compensate for her, get that quick air roll shot on net, and that is going to bring us 2-all. Now Sapphire, they need to hold on. They need to get another goal, and we had a delayed kickoff that almost worked for Rose, but now we still have pressure to contend with as it flies out to the midfield. ashleigh misses her touch. Jules just up in time to get that block from the passing play. And Jade, she clears it out. ashleigh gets a 50-50. And it's going to leave Rose to pass it down into the center. Jules popping in a high. Now we have two Sapphire members going for this. This is the opportunity for Crazy If True to take the advantage. She's going to pass it out to Rose. Try to get 50-50. We have two players commit again. And Paz is going to pass it out to the corner for herself. Rose trying to get a follow-up on it. And right now we're just seeing extended pressure against the Sapphire squad. Can they stop double committing and bring it back into a little bit of semblance of order here? ashleigh's going to carry that into the corner. We have a little bit of harassment from Crazy If True on the Sapphire players. ashleigh trying to do everything she can to move her players forward. Eventually gets over to the orange side, but it doesn't look like there's much offensive strategy here. We're just going for touch it if you can, make a play on the ball, move out, make sure our rotations are clean. And it does get past one. Jazzkitty with an opportunity on net. Jade is going to save it away. She passes out into the middle for ashleigh. Now Jules on the back line. She gets past one. She's going to take it for a dribble, collect that mid boost, and leave Jazzkitty going back on defense with 0. Now Jade, she has to get a save on the goal line. Very clutch for her. She tries to pitch it out into the corner, but it's only going to go as far as Jazzkitty, and that almost went in, but ashleigh with a great crazy save on the goal line, and we are going to see OT for the first time in this week. Now, Sapphire, can they take this win? Are Crazy If True going to shut them out with the 3-0 victory? We see 2 go, leaving ashleigh and Jade with the pressure on the left side. ashleigh, air dribble out into the center. Jade is going to get out, block it in the midfield, but Jazzkitty is going to move it up front. Jade misflips, leaving it open. ashleigh's in the way, and Jade does manage to carry it out. Paz is going to turn it around in the corner. We see a double commit yet again from Sapphire, meaning that ashleigh is going to have to save this way. Only pops as high as the goal line and is going to get a long clear out into the orange corner. You had to think if that stayed on the goal line any longer, Sapphire were going to concede. So it is very advantageous for them to get that out. Now we see Jazzkitty missing her challenge. It's going to leave ashleigh and Jules up on the push. Now Rose taking your time, pops it once, gets an air roll shot to Jazzkitty, and that is going to be game at exactly 1 minute in this overtime. Rose just keeping possession of that perfectly, so Jade didn't have an opportunity to challenge. And, you know, there's only so much of the net you can cover when we have two players up against you. So, Crazy of True gonna take the win, and that does mean that Pad secures her second win of the month and gets her $50. Congratulations to Pads. Very well done from her, and we are gonna get that all sorted. But leaving this week, moving into week 3, we are going to have now 2 bounty slots open for players to get 2 tournament wins. And the players that are contending for it, now that we have seen the result of this, will be RoseBlushes, Jazzkitty, Karamel, and Emily. So can any of those 4 players get a win next week and secure the other 2 $50 bounties? Tune in next time to find out.